Oh, I don't even have my YouTube page opened. Okay, there we go. And there it is. Cool. Good deal. I gotta adjust all these volume things here. There we go. All of that's adjusted. Alright, so now that IGMC is finished, yeah, we're gonna take it easy for a little bit. Ah, I didn't even write this. I'm really bad about not writing these things down. I was supposed to make some notes because there is something that I want to address. In fact, I should bring this up right now. I'm actually already pretty close to the folder I need to be in. Okay, so the first thing that I want to address is about one of the games that I had played last time. So last time I had played a game called Eurydice, or I don't really know how it's supposed to be pronounced, but anyways, it was sort of a visual novel point and click game. And the author had responded to me, and I need to make some corrections. Um, I'm going to be honest here. She. Okay. I'm just going to say. So here's what happened. In the stream, I had said that the art that had been used came from asset packs. It's not her original art. And so I need to clarify something here that I um I don't really know how to clarify it because she didn't really clarify this herself despite me asking it twice. Um I just going to say that I believe the character art that was used. Um, so it was a hidden picture game, right? So okay, there's two things here. So the hidden picture game, the picture itself, where the items were hidden in, that was original art. I don't think any of us thought otherwise when we were watching the stream. I think we were all pretty confident in that being custom original art for that specific game. However, in case there was any confusion around that, yes, there the art that was used, like the picture find art itself, was original art that had been commissioned from the art community, as she put it. What that community is, I don't know, but okay. Um, Next, the character art, like character portraits for like Eurydice and the other like people, the anime whatever art. This is where it gets confusing. I asked her to clarify this like twice, but she didn't really clarify it very well for me. So I mean I don't know what to say. Sure. So we're just gonna say it was custom art by someone called Sasaichi. I don't know. Since I'm here to address my mistake, and we're assuming this art was commissioned from this person, I will put a link to their blog down below. So yeah, I guess I can say I'm sorry for being wrong about that, and that's really all I'm here to address is my mistake, and this is my correction to, I guess, say that the art that was shown in that I had said came from asset packs, and I was mistaken. So yep, that is the main thing that I need to address. While we're on the topic. Most of the developers are pretty like they're good sports about this. Like So again, how to phrase this? You gotta try to phrase these things well. Um, so obviously, the way that my reviews are, I can be somewhat abrasive, somewhat aggressive. I'm aware of that. Um, it's never the intent is never to come off as sounding like I'm attacking the developer directly, because you can sometimes the way that you offer critique can sometimes, even though it might be critiquing one thing, it kind of sounds like a backhanded slap to the actual person, especially when it's an indie game and there's usually only one or very few people behind the game. Then it could sound like you're actually attacking the people directly. Which is obviously not the goal. I don't want it to come off that way, but it does happen sometimes. I'm well aware of that, and unfortunately, um, most of the developers that I have ever reviewed their games, they usually, they understand. They play along. They're okay with it. There are no problems. Everything's okay. In fact, a lot of them are very appreciative that I review their game. But of course, that's not everyone. And I did maybe step on some toes in my previous stream that I had done. Um, Basically, the short of it is that I I'm not apologizing for any of my criticisms because I believe most of my criticisms of the games are still valid. What is true is what I was talking about just a few moments ago, is that perhaps the way that I frame those criticisms may sometimes come off as rude or disrespectful, which of course is not my intent, but that is how it comes off. And so I guess really here is my call to action, my engagement, um, my engagement for this video. If hopefully, because this is at the beginning, so hopefully some people have at least made it this far. Here's basically what I want you to what I want from you. Do I know what I want from you? I'm not sure if I know how to put this. What is it exactly that I want? I had this in my head. This is why I wanted to write this out in a notepad before, to make sure that I would be able to to not stumble over my words while doing this live. Okay, basically, um, so there's some things that I guess it's a few things. Basically, here's your engagement. What do you think I should do, just broadly speaking? If you have any opinions about the way that it's your chance to critique the critic, right? So give me your feedback on the way that I critique games. Leave that below. What I'm more specifically am kind of looking for here is there's a couple of things that I do with these streams. First of all, I am trying to reel back some of the harsher, like the harsher tone of the criticisms, but it's kind of like trying to roll back your personality. It's not something easy, and it's not something that's going to happen overnight. I am trying to do that a little bit. At the same time, I do think that, like, this is going to sound rude, but I think sometimes devs just need to have a tougher skin, I'm not trying to attack them directly. They just need to hear that sometimes you had a dumb idea. Like, for example, one of those dumb ideas is not implementing Yawnfly's keyboard controls or config when it's as simple as just dragging and dropping it into your MV project. But so there's that. I'm sorry for hitting the desk too. So there's that. Do you guys, the watchers, even care about that? Do you think I should dial that back a little bit? Now the other thing is too, is I feel like it's a courtesy to go to the developers after I stream. I usually actually don't inform the developers that I am streaming. So I guess that we can roll that into this question that I'm leading up to. usually what happens is after the stream, I go to the developers itch.io page, and I feel like it's a courtesy to them. I leave a brief summary of my thoughts on their game. So like, here's a written review. You can read it right here in the comments. You don't even need to watch the video. However, I do include a link to the video in case they want to see my reaction and some expanded thoughts on some of the things that I wrote down in the comment. So usually that happens after my stream. So that's the order of operations. I have the stream. After the stream, I go to the devs itch.io page, leave a comment, leaving some feedback, and then the link to the video. So the question is, the engagement challenge, I think that's the word I was looking for. The engagement challenge here is, so first, rolling that previous part into this question is, should I inform devs before starting the stream, like saying in advance, hey, your game looks interesting, I'm going to be streaming it. See, the reason why I don't do that is that just feels like self-promotion, which I'm not against. I do some self-promotion, but I also try to do it more tactfully, as much as I can. Sometimes I don't give a shit. So to me, that just feels like self-promotion. It's not the best way, but maybe having the devs informed about the stream means they can come in. And I do feel like having a dev here can kind of keep me accountable of the things that I say. And then the second thing is actually ignorance is bliss. Maybe some devs feel like they don't want to know that. And so the other part of this question is, should I even bother contacting the devs about my stream? I don't know. I guess that's really it. So that's the engagement challenge. So the first for this whole beginning is pretty rough to get through. But the whole beginning is first apologizing to that previous dev, and then also addressing me as a critic and giving me feedback on my criticism and how I should do it, and how I should inform developers of my criticism. Now, I will say, usually when I leave the comments on the developers' itch pages, is typically, I do it in a much more professional manner. In fact, the tone in my comments I feel is far more professional than anything that's on stream, and that's just partly because my written word is usually a lot better than my spoken word. And that's also because I'm drunk on these streams. So, anyways, yeah. I don't know. I think that's it. This really is going to be mostly chatting stream. Because I didn't get a lot of progress done this week. This was my first week back, going back to work, my regular day job. I'd been off for summer vacation for the past month, which is why I had time to stream so often. But that's finished now. And also, I've just been busy. Like, not only did I have work, but then there's some other stuff that I needed to take care of that happened after work. So it's kind of like I would get home late and just wouldn't have time to do anything. So I didn't really have time to do much of my game, which is really why this is mostly just a chatting stream. I'm kind of hoping maybe Fortuna will pop in, but I also know Fortuna mentioned that they might be difficult for Fortuna to start during these streams because they were also resuming their work. So I don't know if Fortuna will be here, but I'm kind of hoping so, because there's something I am working on in my game that I kind of need some help with that I don't feel like I want to make a post about on the RPG Maker forums. And maybe that's what we'll work on during this stream. So since we're on that topic, why don't we switch camera angles, and we have my desktop here. And what I've been working on, and this has mostly just been a little bit last night, but mostly today. No, last night I just crashed super early. I think I went to bed at like 7 or something. No, never mind. That didn't happen. It's been all day. Okay, so yeah, I've only been working on this today, and it's the only work I've done on my game at all throughout this week. So first, why don't we take a look at what it is? I've been playing around with the options menu. Oh, also, I'm not even going to acknowledge it. Okay, so I've added a bunch of new options to my options menu, and I really like these options. So if we look here, you can see there has been a new section added down here under game rules. So this is pretty cool stuff. All right, so we'll go down here. We can see modify rules to the game to adjust difficulty. Note these changes only affect new games. Changes do not alter existing save files. So basically, the player is allowed to kind of tailor their experience a little bit towards the way that they would prefer to play. So we have a variety of options here. I hope to possibly add a few more options as well. But basically, we have save at torch. So this was something I talked about previously. This sort of solves one of my problems and sort of doesn't. In one of my previous game dev streams, I talked about, or it might have been actually on one of the bad RPG Maker game videos. I'm not sure when I talked about it. Somewhere I talked about save systems and talked about a problem with my save system. So my save system, as you can see here, allows saving the game at healing torches. The game's save system was built around only being able to save in the community. So my game is originally built around this idea where there is a save point at the main town, and that's the only place you can save. And that's basically to prevent save scumming. That's to prevent players from, from trying to avoid some choices that they might make. Also, there's a penalty for death that I don't want them to skip out on. My game has just done this crash again, which has got to get solved. This is an interesting crash that is... There's, like, it doesn't say there's anything here. There's this. I guess I could try to solve this problem, but I really don't think that's the problem because, I mean, first of all, it doesn't display the crash. It's just more like it freezes. I wonder if it could be related to Pixie, now that I think about it. I'll have to give that a try. I've been trying to figure out what the source of this crash is because it doesn't really give me any sort of... Oops. Anyways. It really doesn't give me any sort of warning as to what this is. So it's kind of like I don't know why it crashes. It just does. But it's like a graphical freeze, right? So I think, in fact, actually, I know that the game is still running, but the graphics are not being updated. So I wonder if that's related to Pixie. And that could be because maybe I had updated the, what is it called? Node.js? No, it's not Node.js. Is it Node.js? The NW.js. I'd updated the NW.js for my game. Previously, I had updated it to the most recent version, but I was getting these crashes and was assuming that the tutorial that I had followed had recommended a very specific version to update to. So I actually rolled it back to the recommended updated version. So it's still updated from the base MV NW.js, but it's not the most recent version of NW.js. And so I rolled it back to that, hoping that would fix the problem, but as you can see, it hasn't. One thing I didn't do was update the Pixie renderer, so yeah, maybe that's it, because I know for sure, I don't have sound turned on, but if I had sound turned on, you'd still be able to hear that the game's logic is still running, it's just that the graphics are not updating. Anyways, so let's try that again. Okay, so as I was saying, with this feature, so the problem with my save system, so I don't want people to save scum, but there's a problem. And the problem is that, what if the game crashes, as you've seen here? Or what if the game, or what if the player's power just goes out, you know? Then basically I'm punishing them for something that's totally out of their control. And I don't want that. So I've been trying to figure out a solution to that problem, and this is not really kind of a solution. It's like a half step to a solution. So basically what this does is that there are these healing torches at are contained in the game, that are in the game, and whenever you use them, of course, it heals you. Now, enabling this option also allows you to save when you get to those torches. So for anyone who has this function turned on, they can save more frequently. But anyone who's decided to play it as recommended, they will still suffer the consequences of, you know, game crashes or power outages. So I don't know if this is a great solution to the problem. I'll have to look into another solution, something with autosaves, but I gotta figure out how to make that work with autosaves. Anyways, it's there. You can change the game rules around that. Then down here we have trash value rate. So this basically changes, so there's like various trash you can pick up around the community. Wow, it's done the crash again. That's the fastest I've ever seen it happen. Oh man, what the fuck is going on? Dude, that's wild. I've never seen it happen so frequently. Man, I wish the console would give me more information. If it was Pixie, I wish it was just possible to refresh Pixie itself. Hmm. Hmm. Weird. I really don't know where that comes from. It's almost, I wonder if it's like a timeout? Like, does it just time out after a while of me not moving stuff? I wonder if that's what it is. Like, that's my best guess. Like, it just doesn't like sitting on the menu doing nothing. You gotta be moving the cursor. So anyways, yeah, let's just launch the game. Okay, so I've had it crash, well, that was before I rolled back the NWJS. So maybe the crash could be from multiple different things. And maybe the NWJS might fix the movement crash? I don't know. That's troubling because I really have no clue the source of that possible crash. Anyways, let's actually turn on some volume. Okay, so as you can see, there is various pieces of trash that just lay around the community here. Like there's this log, and down here there's this paper. So each of these contribute a certain value of community experience. towards leveling up the community. I have this debug button over here on the map that basically just grants me a bunch of community XP. And you'll see if I exit the area and then refresh the area, there will be slight changes. It'll be more obvious now. Right, so, yeah, that was a pretty obvious change. So, these scraps of paper will contribute a small amount of experience points towards your community level. Also, there are quests for all the NPCs that you see in town. Doing those quests will increase community experience. Also, completing each of the levels will give you a large amount of community XP. So, you can adjust how much experience those give you here through the trash rate value. From 1 up to 3. You will also notice something interesting happened with the gauge there. So, if we go down to community XP value, this is the amount of experience required to level up. And as you can see, right now I have it set to 16. But, as you'll see at the top, set the required XP to reach a new level for the community. The game has been balanced around a value of 20. Increasing the value makes the game longer. So, what happens when we set it to 20? Ah, the gauge turns green! So, you can see that the game will tell you where the default value is, because the gauge will turn the correct color. So like, oh, this is the default value for that game. So the players can come in here and adjust this as they see fit to tailor the game more towards their personal taste. So the community XP is just so basically how many pieces of trash do you need to collect to level up. So right now you need 20 pieces of trash to level up. Here you need 10 pieces of trash to level up, and then here you need, what is that? What is that? You don't want to go to 21, so that would be 7? Yeah, so you need 7 pieces of trash to level up. But then you can also change that to needing more experience, so now it's requires 16 pieces of trash, and that one requires 11 pieces of trash. So, changing, like I said, the community XP value also affects basically how much experience you need in total. So that also affects like NPCs. Like if you do this guy's quest that I'm chasing right now, you get some experience out of that. So that kind of, will feed back into that. It's not just based on just trash. Trash is kind of your extra way of getting a little bit extra experience. It's your method of grinding experience if the quests are not giving you enough and completing the levels is not giving you enough. So the last one that I've been trying to work on, and it's one that I wish Fortuna would have joined the stream for, is Fiddle's XP rate. So basically what this is this changes the, this adds an additional multiplier to the XP earned. So this is like 0%. This should be the green value. This is where the problem is that I need Fortuna's help for. So this is 0% extra XP. Then you can do 10% extra XP, 20, 30, 40, 50, right? But it also has negative values. So if you want to make the game tougher, longer, you can actually go to negative values. And that's what I'm trying to get this meter to display correctly is I kind of want 0 more to be closer towards the middle of this bar, and then you'd have minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, right? And I cannot figure that out. Even if Fortuna doesn't join, I guess that's what I might spend this stream doing, is me just trying to troubleshoot this and figure it out myself and talking to myself, and yep, that. Because I don't know what else to do. Um, yeah, also, I just realized, because last weekend I had streamed, Bad RPG Maker games, that, there was some progress the week before on my game. Did I put it? I did put a jump there, but I don't think I put the transfer here. I did not. Okay. So, yeah, I did some more work, but there's not really a lot to show off. So, what I'm gonna do is, like I said, I'm just gonna try to figure this out. So here's options core. And in general, options, we have game rules here, fiddles XP. So here's where it draws. We have the draw option code. So the draw option code is how it, draws the option. And I'm trying to figure out how to make the gauge display something different, to work differently. And I'm not sure how to do that. I need someone's help with that. So here is where I believe, like, a lot of that is controlled with, like, how the gauge moves. One thing I can do as kind of a band-aid solution is, I notice I think it doesn't matter what I put here. I can put anything here as long as it's not, like, if I just put a number here like this, I think it makes the gauge not behave correctly, but I'd prefer this incorrect behavior over the current incorrect behavior. Yeah. So you'll see now the gauge is actually colored correctly, but the gauge bar itself doesn't move down in increments. All it does is just highlight 0, right? Ooh, I could probably do that for the save at torch, though. I wonder if I can do that. Okay. Let's open a notepad. Here's what I'm gonna do. Because that's one thing, I want to be able to show the default value with the green bar, right? So if we go to, let me try this. Let's go down here, and we're going to copy the save at torch draw code. Let's just copy this over and paste it there temporarily on my notepad. And we're going to go to the XP rate, and we're going to use this busted draw code. Draw options on off. Yeah, okay. So we're gonna go back to save at torch, draw option code. Okay. So item rect for text, that's the same. Var status width, that's the same. Title width, that's the same. This dot reset text color is the same. Change paint opacity, that's the same. Draw options name. Draw options name, okay, good. Let's see, we want if I type false, not 0, false, I wonder if this will work. Let's try that. I wonder if that'll work. So this way, the bar color just changes if you change it off the default option. Hey, so far that's good. Ah, nice. I wish it wouldn't say false and true. I wish it'd say on or off, but still, that works the way that I want it to, so that's cool. Good. All right. We got one thing solved. If I... Just out of curiosity, I don't think this will work, but might as well just test it anyways. If I go to options and go to save a torch, just curious, if I set it to off, I don't think that's gonna work, but let's give it a try. Maybe I can copy this over here. Draw options on off index. Maybe I can try that next. Okay, yeah. That clearly didn't work. I didn't think that would work, but I wanted to try it anyways. So let's go back here and let's fix that. Okay, and see, it says value there. I don't know. Let's just try adding this. This is this dot draw options on off index. Let's try adding that, see what that does. I have a feeling it's just gonna like overlay on off on top of the bar, and you'll still have false in the middle, so it's just gonna look kind of crowded. Yeah, that's exactly how it worked. Oh! I wonder though, I might be able to use this. Maybe. It's kind of hard to tell when you have it off and when you have it on. Just because the color behind the text changes. Oops, that's the wrong one. Options core. So if we go to the draw options, and then I think if we remove value, I think before it was just like that. Yeah, all right. It's still kind of hard to tell which one is toggled right now. I know which one it is because the colors coordinate with the default setting, which is off. So I know off is currently on. That sounds weird to say, but yeah, I know that off is the current setting. But I feel like it might be difficult for players to be able to determine that themselves. So it would almost be better if there was just, you know, that... Is my camera in the way, by the way? No, okay, you can see it. It would just be better if there was that text in the middle that changed depending on... sorry, I clicked outside the window. Anyways, it would be better if there was that text in the middle that just changed depending on my setting. But I don't like that it says false or true. Again, this is why I wish I had Fortuna here. I need someone who knows programming who could tell me how to do that. I feel like that shouldn't be complicated? Question mark? Or I wonder if there's a way to change this, like how dim it is, the transparency of the currently not toggled option. Let's look if we can change that. I gotta open up. core. This is an options core setting, right? Yeah. Options core. There it is. Wait, there it is. Okay. So we want to find, what is it? It's going to be draw options on off. I wonder if that's how it's going to be labeled in here. Let's see, draw options on off. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Move out of the way. Oh, go back, go back. Backward direction. Okay, here. So, on text, off text. Oh, I can always change that too. I don't like the capitalization. So we can change that. Just like that. So is there a setting for... Have status with... I don't think that's gonna be it. I wonder if it's the change paint opacity? Change paint opacity. But what is change paint opacity? That is the question. Okay, well, first let's just see if those small changes that I made to the text are going to affect the game the way that I hope it does. Yes, it does. There we go. All of the on and off options are now, they now have lowercase. They're not just all caps. Very nice. So at least we got that fixed. Now it's the matter of changing the opacity for on or off. Actually, well, that'd probably be pretty complicated to do. It'd be nice if you could use like an icon as a cursor next to it for which one's selected. So like if it's on, there would just be an icon right here. And if it was on off, there would be the icon right here. So it would just move the icon to which side. So it would indicate which one is currently on or off. But that would probably be a lot more complicated to do. If I could adjust the opacity to be a lot lower so that it's almost not visible, like maybe put it at like, I don't know, maybe 20% opacity, then I think it'd be a lot more clear which one is currently selected. And that's kind of what I'm trying to figure out. I don't know why I moved the game over there. That's what I'm trying to figure out here. Do you have to change paint opacity? Off text title width, rect Y, okay. I'm not sure. How do you set that? Like, how does it know to set that opacity? Where is it getting that value from? Man, this is why I wish that there was someone who knows programming in my chat. Oh no, it's a lonely stream. I haven't had one of these in a long time. Although to be fair, I didn't name this stream particularly. I didn't give this stream much of an eye-catching stream name, nor an eye-catching thumbnail, because I thought it would be pretty casual. Kind of just wanted to keep it chill, make it not very interesting deliberately. But that's coming to bite me, because now it's hopelessly looking through code for where someone sets the opacity of an on or off option. Option categories, options list, options category, volume. Config manager, Windows option categories. Why don't we turn the game volume off so it's not so quiet? How's that? Alright. You guys are gonna get sick of the menu song by the time this is done. But we're gonna solve it. We're gonna try to, at least. Really have no fucking clue where this would be at, though. That's the thing. I'm just fucking firing in the dark here, trying to figure out how it decides whether, like, how it decides the opacity. How does it make that choice? How does it decide to set the opacity at that level? Too much of a fucking programming dummy to figure this shit out. I don't know where to look. Let's draw item. Change paint opacity. Is that contained? There is. Yeah, look at that. I think that might be it. So you have this .change paint opacity. This is command enabled. So basically, the way I'm reading this, I could be wrong, is change the text opacity if the command is enabled. That's kind of the way I'm reading this. So I wonder, can we... we find that? Command is command enabled. Crystal, hello. That's a new face from around here. You've joined probably one of the more boring streams you could have possibly joined as I scrounge through JavaScript, hopelessly looking for the code that I am looking for. That might help me. You wouldn't happen to be a programmer, would you? Who could help me figure out this problem, because unfortunately I'm just a little bit too dumb to wrap my head around this. Though I'm certainly giving it my best. Where? So we have this. I'm a graphic designer and that code is foreign. yeah, it's pretty foreign to me too. I'm firing blanks here, man. I don't know. I've managed to scrape together some things that I've wanted to change just by, you know, shooting in the dark. But I don't think I can figure this one out. So, since you're new, you might not understand what I'm exactly looking for. So, let's bring my game over here. So, here's what I'm trying to solve, all right? So, I have this off and on option here. So the problem is, it's kind of hard. I want the bar itself to change color to indicate what is the default option and what is the not default option. So green means default, everything's okay. Blue means you've altered it. Now, I also just don't want it to be just a bar that changes colors, so we have the text here off and on. And what I was trying to figure out is, by default, you can see that the currently disabled option, whatever the option is, like you can see up here with action indicator, it's currently turned on, so the opacity is at 100%. And then for the currently unselected option, the opacity is like at 50% or something. And it's kind of hard to tell with the bar in the background. It's kind of hard to tell which one is on and which one is off. The opacity is not enough. I want to lower the opacity to like barely visible, like maybe 20% or something. And so that's why I have the code here open. To try to figure out how does it know to set the opacity to 50%. And that I just can't figure out. Because if I can find where it sets itself to 50%, then I can easily change that to 20%. But I don't know. We have the change paint opacity, which I think is that, but where does change paint opacity get its value from? Like, it needs to know what opacity to set it to, right? You would think. Oh man, I've figured out this kind of shit before in other plugins. So change paint opacity. There it is, there it is. But I don't see the value. So the other option I have, I'm gonna need to restart the game. So we can go here, general options, save a torch. This is what I'm doing right now. So here's the draw options code. And we can change right here to value. And this is actually more informative, but I don't like, I don't know which one to pick, right? Okay, so now that I've changed that, you can see now it has the false in the middle. And then if I change it, it says true. So that's more informative. Like, the player knows what the action is because it's changed the word there in the middle. But I don't like that it says true or false. I would prefer that it says on or off. I think, I don't know, it feels... Am I going crazy over this? Is this like really... Is this like really severe perfectionism? I don't think it is, because I feel like true or false just, I don't know, it feels so unrefined, so unfinished for a game, right? On or off just makes more simple sense. Like using computer language to tell the player what's going on, just, it doesn't, I don't know what I'm trying to fucking say. I don't know, it just doesn't, it doesn't seem like a very good thing. I don't know. So I prefer that it say on or off, but I don't know how to change that. All it's saying is, all it's displaying is what the value of the setting. The reset button will appear when activated. Huh? You mean for my game? Like, if I turn that on, will it ask you to reset the game? No. If that's what you're saying, then no, that's not going to happen. Basically, so you can see here, so all of these, my game rules, modify the rules to adjust difficulty. Note these changes only affect new games. Changes do not alter existing save files. So basically what happens is, let's minimize the game. Right here, this is the very opening of the game. I have this special event here that takes you have these dynamic variables. And as action, just show reset button. I'm at a loss. I'm trying to figure out what you're talking about. Well, to explain what I was going to say, for anyone else who is curious, is that the variables and switches that are here in the options menu, these are what I would call dynamic variables because you can change them at any time. So we need to change the dynamic variable into a static variable. Designers and programmers don't understand each other. I'm neither a designer nor a programmer, so I guess I don't understand anything. So since these are dynamic variables and switches, I pass those dynamic variables into a static variable here. So you can see, here's the variable we want to control, static trash value, set by variable, the global variable, the dynamic one. So that all gets applied here at the very beginning of the game once you start the new game. And then after you start the new game, that's set in stone for the rest of that save file. And I've done that on purpose. I could allow it so that players could change these settings anytime they want, but I'm giving them the tools to tailor the experience to their preference. And so I don't want to allow them to change it at any time, basically. It's like, I'm giving you the tools to do this, but you're only going to be able to do this at the start of a new game. So, anyway, so that was the explanation on that. Now, I've just been trying to figure out these options menu settings. We also have other problems here too. So, okay, so what you can see here is that when they are green, that is the default setting for my game. This is how my game has been balanced. The game has been balanced around torches being off, trash rate value set to 1, community XP value set to 20, and fiddle's XP rate set to 0. And then when you change those values, okay, so now it's no longer default, so now it changes to a different color. So that just kind of informs the player that you have changed the setting. And it is no longer... Oh no, here's the fucking freeze again. Oh, I've been doing so well. Anyways. Yeah, sure, save it, whatever. So, I don't know, man. Maybe I should look at this later, because it's not the most interesting thing to stream. The thing is that the other thing that I'm working on stream is my other problem. My other options menu problem, which is also not very interesting. My XP rate gauge is not working correctly. It should be a meter, right? So like here you can see the meter goes in steps and fills up, right? Fills up as you change it. This one is not working correctly. It does not fill up or go down as you change the value. And that's because it goes into these negative values. And so I'm trying to figure out how to make the meter, the gauge, work with negative values. I can get it to work from 0 to 50, but if you set it to -10, then nothing, then it doesn't look correct. If you're a designer, a graphic designer, maybe you understand this. Because technically, all of these options, as far as the game is concerned, are working correctly. It is sending the correct data to the game to know what to do. What I'm really working on right now is making it look correct. So... So this is the XP rate here. So I think originally if I put value by whatever the maximum value is, the meter will work halfway correctly. Like it will work for all the positive values, it won't work for any of the negative values. Let's save the game. bring it over here, restart it. So you can see now it's at 0, so the meter is completely empty. And if we go up, it goes up in steps. Hooray, that works correctly. That's how it's supposed to. But then, what if we want to set the value to less than 0? Well, now there's a problem. So, the meter is not working correctly. Only halfway correct. And that's what I'm trying to figure out, is how do I make that work correctly? Those are the two things I'm stuck on, and those are the two things I'm here to talk about today, which is not the most interesting stream, which is why my stream is using neither an interesting title nor is it an interesting thumbnail, because I don't know how interesting this is to anyone. So here's the draw options code. So I don't know what do I do? Oh my gosh, Fortuna is here, a programmer! Yes! Oh, I was scared you weren't going to be able to join. My voice is cracking a lot. I don't know why. I was scared you weren't going to be able to join because you said you wouldn't. I need your help. Okay, I get to repeat this exact same thing I was literally just talking about. You're busy today, so you'll watch the replay. But you're here now. But you're here now. There are two things I'm trying to figure out with Yep's option core. Alright? It's making these meters, these gauges, display correctly. Can you help me with this? Alright, good. Alright, problem number 1. This gauge that I'm playing around with right now has a problem. It has negative values. I want it to have negative values. But you can see it does not display, like the meter does not show negative values. If I start pushing minus, the meter is still completely empty, right? What I really want is for 0 to kind of be more towards the middle, if that makes sense. So you have 0 at the middle, and then minus 10, minus 20, minus 30, right? And then at the top you have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, okay? How do I get it to shift the meter so that way it can show negative values? I have my options core here, options category, general, options list, and fiddles XP rate. So we have the draw option code, and I think this line right here, var rate equal value by 50.clamp01, I think that is the value that controls this. I've played around with this a lot, but I just can't seem to get it to display correctly. Thanks, Crystal. See you next time. So it's kind of like, I've tried setting 80 at the top here, or it should be 90 actually. Because then that would give enough steps, right? Because there's... But, I mean, that doesn't make sense, really. Like, it's enough steps. A fixed value as clamp 0, 1, fixed value as positive. What does that mean? Bring it back up.
we'll set that back to 50. Clamp 0, 1. Fix the value as positive. Try with a negative value instead of the 0. So like -1. That's not a bad idea. Oh, it's already running. Oops. That doesn't look like that fixed it. Oops. Ah. Yeah. Oh. I mean, it did fix it, but not not in the way that was intended. See, I think the clamp is clamping the how it actually draws the meter. What I really want to do is kind of like move where the meter starts drawing. So we want to put 0 at the middle of the meter, like probably like here. This should be 0, and put the negative values not there, like here, and then the positive values here. Or wait, hang on. Oh my god, it takes so long to navigate to this option. So if I tried changing this to a negative value, not the clamp. That was pretty funny though. I think the clamp needs to stay at 0 and 1 for it to render correctly. But I think somewhere in here needs to change. So let's try setting it -50 and see if that gets us closer. It's just inverted. Try with 0.5 and 5 in the clamp and add 0.5 after it. I almost follow you. Okay, let's navigate back there. Takes forever to draw options code. All right, 150 there, and you're saying on the clamp we're gonna do -0.5 and 0.5, and add 0.5 after it. That's where you lost me. Add 0.5 after it. Oh no. Yeah. So now it caps out at 50%. But it still goes, it shoots off to the left there. All right. What am I doing? Options core. Nope, what did I do? I went to visual. So like I said, I really think these clamp values need to stay at 0 and 1. Unless you meant plus 0.5? Is that what you meant? Like, that's what you mean by add. So like plus 0.5. Is that what you mean? So that's gonna like shift it? That doesn't make sense. Is that gonna work? I feel like that's just not gonna work. Am I understanding you correctly about that? Oh. Oh, holy shit. Oh, holy shit. Yeah, that worked. Sort of. It's kind of weird because, like, 20 is nearly the top. So, like, it's almost there, but you're maxed out when you hit 30. Like, 30 is at the top of the bar. So then 40 and 50 almost don't exist at all. What if I just increase the value, maybe? Man, I would have never fucking figured that out. So we're definitely much closer, so that's why I needed you here. Thank God you're able to do that, because I would have played around with values in here forever. I would have never thought about using a plus 0.5 there. That would have never occurred to me. So we're a lot closer. If I just change this to like 80, or I don't know, let's change it to 100. See if that works a little bit better. I don't... Yeah, actually. Yeah, that works for me. 50's at the top. Right on. All right. Hey! You did it. I'm so glad you're here, Fortuna. I should add you. Let's see. Where's my credits list? Plugins, credits, scripting, programming, QA, Fortuna, Street, assisted with options. There we go. Yep. We got it figured out, Fortuna. All right, now we can move on to problem number 2. Let's see if you can figure this one out. All right, so save at torch. We have a problem here. It's again a matter of display and not a matter of importance. Right now, I was just debugging stuff. So in the middle, you can see false or true. So we have two different ways of going about this, okay? So number 1, we can keep the false or true there, but I don't like that it says false or true. I would rather it say on or off in the middle. Now, option number 2 is you can see we have we have off and on over here. But the problem is that the currently disabled value, like right now, is on. On is not enabled. The opacity on that is still too high for my taste. I want it to be barely visible so it's more obvious to the player which option is currently enabled. And right now, I don't think it's very obvious which one is enabled. So, those are the two choices. How do we change the text in the middle to either say on or off instead of false or true? Or how do we change the opacity on these? Changing the opacity is going to be I think it's going to be in the actual plugin itself and not in like the option stuff. And I was like looking through here, you can see change paint opacity here, but I can't figure out how it knows like what opacity to set it to. That's kind of the problem. So I feel like changing that would be easier, but it's a matter of figuring out where it gets the opacity value from. How does it know what opacity is set it to? I don't know. I've looked up and down in this plugin for where that might be. I don't know what to search for either to figure that out. Changing false or true to say something else, I don't know. That seems a little bit more complicated. Because I think all it's doing is just displaying the current setting of the switch. So you basically have to interpret that setting to something else. Right now I have both of those enabled. I know how to display one or the other, because if we go down here, if I just change or remove value before I had it as just this, then that will remove the text in the middle. This right here, this .draw options on off displays the on or off thing that I'm trying to figure out the opacity of. And then this .draw text displays the text. Can you set up a conditional, like if value is false? Can I set up a conditional within this .draw text? Is that possible? Because if I set up a conditional, then you could do it like this .draw text if no. Well, okay, all right. You helped me figure out one of them. So thanks. Thank you for that. Yeah, I'll send it to you later then. I'll see if I can figure this out in the meantime. Just wondering if you can... You know, like, if value equals false, this .draw text... Can I do that? Can I just add this .draw text? Guess it doesn't hurt to try. Have a look when you get the time. Okay. I'm gonna play around with it. If I solve it before you're able to look at it, then... Or if I solve it before the end of the stream, then I just won't send it to you and just send you a message saying, hey, I got it figured out. Let's just try adding this .draw text. Let's see what happens. This .draw text. Is this false? Yeah. So it's going to be off. Just copy the rest. Down here. I don't know if this is gonna work, but we're gonna give it a try. Can I comment this out? Will it let me do that? Actually, you know what? I don't know if it'll let me do comments in this, but I can just cut that and move it over to my notepad for temporary holding. Just see if that works. Ah, wait, I need to. Where's the game? Here it is. Alright, refresh. Okay, that didn't work. Alright. So yeah, that comes down to whether I can use this .draw options. No, this what is it? This .draw text and a conditional. Maybe. Why didn't it display anything? Does it just totally ignore that? Is it just like, nah? Did I go to the wrong one? I went to the wrong one. We want to go to save a torch. Yeah, this.draw text off. Okay, so what I want to just test real fast is making sure that doing that with just quote something will actually draw text. It should. I'm pretty sure it does, but let's double check that and be 100% sure that that is correct. So we're going to copy this back on over, and in the quotation marks, we'll just, excuse me. Sure, we'll do that. Hiccup. Sure does. It says hiccup right there. So that's definitely working. So that's what I thought. I was pretty sure that would work. But now I need it to be a conditional display. If false, can I put that in line? I feel like it's not going to like that. But I also thought it wouldn't like adding the plus 0.5 at the end. And obviously that worked. So let's try something else that I think shouldn't at all work. So if, what is it? It's going to be if value is equal to false. Do we just add the quotation marks there? I guess so. Off. And then else. On. It feels like that really shouldn't work. Let's give it a try. Yeah, okay, it didn't like that. I didn't think that would work, but I thought it was worth a shot. Well, oh, but yeah. You probably need to use a semicolon somewhere, right, to indicate the end of the line. So I really can't put this. So I really can't just put this at the end. I want to try this again. I know it's kind of stupid, but because, I mean, what is it going to accomplish? We already looked at this, but I just want to give it one more go. Let's get it back to where it was. I'm going to leave this here for now. I'm going to put failure in the quotes, so we know it didn't work. I'd imagine that last this.draw options, or this dot, what is it? This.draw text is gonna override the previous ones, right? Yeah. For sure, I think that would override whatever I'd put in the conditionals. So I definitely don't think that's gonna work. If we go to the options core and remove that again, it's gonna bring us back to where we were last time I tried this. So let's delete that. Oh, I still actually have it here. I don't need to copy and paste it, but whatever, it's fine. Okay, this brings us back to where we were. I'm also going to try commenting, see if that works. So that should remove the on and off. I feel like you should be able to comment. Yeah. Well, at least we know commenting the code out works in options core. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm gonna have to throw in the towel on this one, I think. Because I think I've actually somehow managed to stream for an hour and a half, which is kind of impressive. I didn't think I'd be able to make it that far during this stream. Did I go to the right one again? Yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, I really don't know. It's weird that it doesn't add this right here. It has to be at the bottom. It can't be in a conditional. So let's just delete that. And we'll bring this one back in. And we'll put it back at value instead. All right, that should bring it back to where this all was, how it was when I had started this. Yep, back to square one. Well, damn. At least we got one of these figured out, thanks to Fortuna. So we have 0 right in the middle. It goes up to 50. That's pretty nice. I wonder if I can fix this one. 32's at the top. I wonder if I can fix this one to make 12 a little bit lower down in the gauge. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom, but I would prefer it if it got much further to the bottom, because this is almost to halfway. Anyways, alright, well, we managed to figure out half of my problems, so that's pretty good. Yeah. I guess I'm pretty happy with that. Sorry this stream was not very eventful. I don't blame you if you didn't make it through the whole thing. It was a pretty simple, relaxing stream. It's been a pretty rough week, so I almost thought about canceling the stream, but I've had a pretty consistent track record of at least streaming once every week. I know I canceled the stream when I said I was going to stream twice a week. But I don't count that because I was doing extra anyways. I've still kept a pretty consistent once a week stream, so that's why I decided to go for a more casual kind of relaxing thing, because even if it's not my 100% best stream, I still feel like I accomplished something to actually at least continue that streak and not just give up because I had a rough week. Didn't give in to that, so yeah, anyways, that's going to be it for this stream. Sorry it was pretty light, but anyways, yep, that's going to be it, and see you guys next time. Bye!